Bad day for the Buffs, big day for the Broncos, and are the ills of society spilling over into our sports world? We're going to talk all about it. Look, man, the Colorado Buffaloes didn't get it done this.
Yeah.
What we got, man?
Just relax, man. Just have a cocktail.
What are you telling me to relax
have a cocktail
for,
and talk.
I'm always relaxed.
All right. What's going on?
I didn't need you to tell me to relax.
Well, I'm just saying. What's going on? Go ahead and you start it.
You couldn't do that before we started the show?
I'm sorry. I didn't know we started yet.
Look, man. The Buffs, 24-21 losers this weekend to BYU. Tough loss for the Buffs. It was tough in so many ways. One, because it started off so promising, Black. The Buffs' first two possessions, they scored touchdowns. They looked like they were going to run away with this game. The rest of the game, it was 24-7. BYU ultimately winning the game by 3 points, 24-21. Tough loss, man.
Yeah, it was a tough loss, but I think that we need to grow up. And you have to learn how to win if you are the University of Colorado. You just don't just throw it out there and think it's just going to stick. I mean, you have to learn how to win. You have to learn to condition yourself to make the big plays in the big moment. And I think that that's something that they're not good at right now. And so I'm hoping they find a way to remedy that so that it's something else. It's not just going out there playing hard and giving them a good battle, but finding a way to finish. And that is a skill set of its own.
It does feel like a team that hasn't quite fully matured, right? It's interesting when you look at last year's team. When Prime got here, it appeared because of the luggage that he packed, had a bunch of great players on the outside. And it was a program that felt like it was being built from the outside in. 2 years later, the strength of this team is this offensive line. This offensive line is one of the top 10 offensive lines in the country in terms of their performance, how they're grading out. And you can see it on the field of play. I mean, they are running the ball. I think they rushed for over 160, 180 yards this week. Caden Salters is fairly clean to the extent that he is pressured. It's because he's holding the ball, trying to, in many cases, do too much. But this offensive line is really great. I'm afraid that what we're seeing is the most important unit on the team, the offensive line, and their great play being squandered to some degree because we're not able to figure it out on the perimeter.
Yeah, I think that from the very beginning of training camp, and we were out there to go witness what the University of Colorado was doing, it was clear to see that they were bigger, they were stronger, they were more athletic. We have a guy on this team that's going to be a top 5 pick next year. In 2 years in the 27 draft in Seton. I just don't know how you highlight organization more than what we did last week against BYU. The only thing that makes it solid, Black, is you win the game.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes it solid, more solid than it is. Just win the game, and it's not like the big plays that are happening against us are coming from within the body of the offensive line. We had a holding call on the perimeter that was just, first of all, it was just a bad call. The kid clearly had position, but he, trying to block and hold a block in a pressure situation like that, you got to be taught to almost use block them with your knuckles rather than with your hands. Because if you when you use hands, you will grab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like you just need to shadow them long enough and stay in between the ball carrier and that block is good enough.
You talk about that holding call. That was on a Caden Salters big play.
Oh,
big
my
running
goodness.
play.
That's going to put the game away.
That puts the game away. I totally agree with you. And the pass interference calls, 7 PIs called against the Buffs so far this year, 7 all of last year. This is after 5 games. And they're coming at the most inopportune times. Of course,
I thought some of them were trash.
Oh,
in
no,
Houston.
no question.
The ones in trash were trash in Houston.
Well, there was a couple the other night that were trash.
I mean, this is just, it feels like I don't know. It's just not. It's trash. It's just straight trash.
How do you fix that? How do you fix this? It's like holding on an offensive line. I feel like so many PI
Reputation.
calls. Exactly. I
It's
was just getting to that.
reputation. Yeah,
I was just getting to that.
It's just reputation. If you have a reputation of being one of the best defensive backs or better secondaries in all of college football, I tend to believe that what ends up happening is that referees kind of swallow the whistle and say, hey, this is what the best look like. They've been called the best, and you kind of let some things go. But when you are considered to be the weakest unit and the one that is not returning a bunch of playmakers like we had last year, then I think that, that kind of also goes with, hey, this guy is not as good as those guys last year. So, we're going to call it. We're going to call it. So maybe some Travis did last year as a Heisman Trophy winner, didn't get called, but it's getting called this year because, the cameras are always on him, and you want the best for the brightest in all of college football. And I don't think we have those type of players right now in our secondary. They may grow into be those kind of guys, but as it sits right now, we just don't have that reputation.
I think you make an excellent point because reputation matters. And there is a growing theme that, if it's 50-50, it's going against, where last year, if it was 50-50, we got the benefit of it in part because of reputation. But those PIs are putting us in really adverse situations. And most of the pass interference are coming down the field because it's the recognition that we play a lot of man. And teams are almost looking at, when you throw the ball deep against Colorado, like we say, like Bo Schembechler said, two bad things can happen. Only one good thing could happen when you pass the ball. In this case, the two bad things that could happen is for the defense is a completion or a pass interference that seems to be almost factored in opposing offenses when they play Colorado. If they're in man, one-on-one coverage, throw it deep, there's a good chance that we're going to get a 15-yard penalty against the defense.
Or a spot call.
That's right, inside of 15. So it's one of those tough situations. I hate to see it. I do think reputation
what I always
is hurting us.
I always thought when I played for the University of Colorado is.
And why do you keep saying for the University of Colorado?
Well, that's how I know them, the University of Colorado.
You can't say
I don't want. I've heard enough people say Colorado University.
That's not right.
That's not. So I figure if
it's not Colorado,
use positive reinforcement and just keep on saying University of Colorado,
you're educating the public.
That's right. At times, some people who may not be familiar with the University of Colorado may call it UC.
That bothers you?
That bothers me because it's CU, but it's University of Colorado. It just works in reverse at times.
Well, the pet peeves. We'll get some of the pet peeves later.
The one thing that when I was playing for the University of Colorado.
Would you stop saying that, man?
Okay. Every team that I've ever played for.
Okay.
This is it. Okay.
All right.
This is it. Every team that I've ever played for, I felt like if there was going to be a completion or a pass interference or anything bad that could happen to the secondary, it's my fault.
Your fault.
It's my fault. The quarterback shouldn't have never got the ball off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Unless it's just a drop back and, just fling it up in the air in 1.3 seconds. Anything outside of that, I should have got there.
Okay.
And I think that having that responsibility on the guys up front really helps in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because, all plays that happen for defensive linemen don't necessarily have to be sacks for them to be good plays. We're talking about passes defended, knocked down, just getting your hands in the air. We don't have very many passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And that's something that, that I was really good at, being 6'6".
Well, I mean, you're a big guy, though. You're a tall guy.
When I left the University of Colorado, I was number 2 in passes defended.
Right.
That includes every cornerback, every safety, everybody that played at the University of Colorado.
That's by virtue of
knocking passes down. Okay. And, because once the pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage, it's no longer pass interference.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to learn to get our hands up to help these guys and and block those windows. I
Yeah.
mean, it's something that is, I don't believe it's taught like it used to be taught for us, because if you're not going to get there, man, the best thing you can do is block those windows.
Yeah. You know, you said something that caught my attention, man. You said a lot of stuff that catch my attention from time to time.
That's because I'm smarter than you.
No, it's not necessarily.
Yes, it is.
It's not because you're smart. It's because it's interesting.
I'm less dumb than you did.
You said when there's a completion down the field or pass interference, as a pass rusher, you take responsibility for that, right?
Absolutely.
You could have put more, something you could have done. It's interesting because that reflects Coach Prime's sentiment after the game. He said he wants his players he wants it to hurt when they don't win, whether it's a play, whether it's the game. He's not certain that they feel it enough. They take the responsibility on themselves. That's a sign of maturity as much as anything else, because I remember your freshman year, you didn't give a damn about anything but what skirt you was chasing after practice.
Hey man, listen, I would.
What do you mean, bro? You had that motorcycle. You had them.
Hey man,
you had that stupid motorcycle.
I had that Nighthawk S. Do you know how I bought that Nighthawk S? Let me tell you a story, man. I was on campus. We were in front of Munzinger.
It's Munzinger.
Munzinger, excuse me.
Had
Munzinger.
you attended the classes that you had there, you wouldn't know how to pronounce it.
We were in front of Munzinger, right there next to the athletic facility.
Yes.
And we had a teammate named Mark Henry. Mark Henry played wide receiver.
That's my guy.
Yes, man. From Sterling, Colorado.
That's right.
Yeah, my guy. Him and Mindy.
That's right.
His sister played for the University of Colorado basketball team. So Mark and Mindy, huh?
That's different from Mork and Mindy.
I know.
Okay. All right.
Trying to play it. Anyway, Mark had just gotten this motorcycle, this Honda Nighthawk S. So we were in front of Munzinger.
Munzinger.
We were in front of Munzinger. The science.
Yeah, but if you're gonna say Munzinger,
okay, Munzinger. Okay. We were in front of Munzinger. Damn, dog. Can I finish?
Can you start? It's
okay.
Munzinger.
Okay, so we were in front of Munzinger. Mark Henry had his new motorcycle, and he said, "I said, can I ride it?" He said, "Do you know how to ride?" I said, "Hell yeah, I know how to ride a motorcycle." I had never been on a motorcycle before in my life. He said, "If you wreck it, you buying it." I wrecked the shit out of that motorcycle. I had this big old scar on my leg. It was all down my leg, man. I had road rash because I was in shorts. And Mark was pissed. I mean, he was pissed. It looked like, like he was almost crying, so mad. You know, that
probably
mad.
Did it on purpose.
Oh no, I didn't, man. No,
I
love my homeboy, dog. I mean, it was one of those situations where I was just like, damn, it looked easy, but I didn't know about the gears. I didn't know about the back brake and the front brake. Make your ass go over the top. You know what I'm thinking? So I had no idea.
Unbelievable.
So I crashed the motorcycle. And that's how I got the motorcycle for all my years at the University of Colorado.
It seems
and listen to this. It, because I told you I laid it down, right? There was a big ass dent in the gas tank of the motorcycle, and I looked at that dent every single day when I would get onto that motorcycle, because it just reminded me, be careful. I didn't fix the dent. It was my motorcycle from then on. I took all of my Pell Grant. This is no lie. I took all of my Pell Grant and gave it to Mark Henry, and he went and bought him another motorcycle or something.
Al,
true story, man. I mean, that was college.
I think college for you was just like this 4-year just playground.
It was.
I just had you.
You're right.
And I would say this: it says a lot about who and how you were, and quite frankly, who you are, the way you approach life. Fascinating for most, interesting to some, but damn, bro,
I laid that damn motorcycle down, bro. I mean, that was, man. And then, Coach Hankiewicz, after I laid it down, Coach Hankiewicz, our defensive coordinator, he said, "Alfred, you can't ride motorcycles anymore. I was like, you gonna get me a car? I said, if you're not getting me a car, I just bought myself a motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's a true story. He said,
I could imagine.
I said, you gonna get me a car? He said, no, I can't. No, I guess I got me a motorcycle. So I had a motorcycle for 4 years at the University of Colorado. I could dart in and out of around the barriers at campus. And then at the end, like all college students, I had so many damn tickets. They ticketed my motorcycle. I told them, just keep the damn thing. I just left the damn thing there at the University of Colorado.
Did you pay the tickets?
Oh, no, they got the motorcycle.
No, that's not how that works.
I just left it. You just left it one day on campus. Just like, sorry, just take it. Just take it. I was getting ready for the NFL draft. I just left the damn thing.
You made all that NFL money. You still didn't pay the University of Colorado the ticket fines that you accumulated from riding that stupid ass motorcycle.
Goodness, dude. I mean, that was a blast, dog. Just to be able to get in and out of, in between the dorms and going places where cars couldn't go. It was great, man.
Yeah, you were a little different, bro. I think most people would describe you. Would you agree that most people would describe you, your teammates, college girlfriends, you name it, current wife, ex-wife?
Oh my God. God, he put me on Front Street.
They would describe you as a little different.
Maybe. I did take a lot of trap blocks in my life, and things are fuzzy at times.
Hey, man, getting back to the game, okay. Man, hold on. We talked about the offensive line, the lack of consistency on the perimeter and at the quarterback position. But here's where hope comes, in my opinion, for the CU Buffs. I'm beginning to see, because of that O-line, a running game that you can pretty much hang your hat on a little bit. You have Draylon Miller is finally their most versatile player. They got him in the backfield, very innovative, a lot of wildcat, handling the ball, great deal of success there. And Micah Welch.
Yeah, Welch
is beginning to flash too,
right,
the way
right.
you hope. So all is not lost.
He reminds me of a Marshall Faulk kind of runner, actually. You know what I'm saying? And then they use him in the passing game as well.
That's right.
But using Miller in the Wildcat, I thought that was creative.
Very
and got
creative.
Us going. But we didn't, when the game was on the line, when you got to make a play when the game is on the line, where is the magic? I mean, we did run a Wildcat. We got like 2 or 3 yards on it. But where is the Wildcat pass?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, where's that? Like, you might have to go ahead and break out another iteration of your game plan when the game is on the line. The great coaches hold things back until they absolutely need it. Because Caden Salter, man, God bless the guy, man, but he had some open ass wide receivers right in his purview, and just didn't throw it to him.
Didn't get it.
Just didn't. I don't know if he didn't see him. And I always thought about this when we had Russell Wilson here. Russell Wilson never threw the check down. And he never threw the check down, I believe, it's because he could not see the receivers standing there. And if you go back and look at the end of that game, we had receivers standing at the first down mark on 3rd down and 5. That was just disappointing.
Well, I mean, it's, from a quarterback
perspective. Look at it, you look at it, you go, damn.
Yeah, but they don't see. That's what fans, it's interesting with fans. Fans see, they have a different perspective than a quarterback. And you're right. The very good ones, before the ball is snapped, has an idea of who's going to be open. And if your first reads aren't open, you have an idea of, your bailouts, right? Your check downs.
It was disappointing, dog. I mean,
couldn't agree with you more.
And then you talk that quarterback talk all you want, but you know what? It shouldn't have been one of those situations that the end of this game, and I'm so tired of it now, man. I'm love Coach Prime, but listen, man, we've had 2 losses, okay? And in those 2 losses, we've had 3 now. That's our 3rd loss. And 2 of the losses, we've had 5 timeouts that we've had in our pockets at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, after Caden Salter scrambles and he doesn't make the first down, timeout.
Yeah.
I mean, I was screaming timeout. I think the broadcasters were screaming timeout. I think every fan was thinking timeout.
You're talking about the last possession.
The last possession.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, use that to gather yourself, and maybe we start talking about, hey, look, if the dig is not in, or the deep over, or the corner route's not open, the check down is going to be right here.
You reiterate.
Yes.
You emphasize.
Yes.
Exactly, because you're at that crucial
point.
Finish, yeah,
because you coach, and then you coach for the next 2 plays.
I think that's a fair criticism. I will also go back a little bit. Between 4 and 5 minutes left in the game, you're in negative territory. It's 4th and 6.
Oh my God, that was awful.
And you burn a timeout there, and then you decide.
And then you punt it.
I agree.
That was awful, dog.
I agree.
Just
with
take the penalty, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the penalty and just punt it. Don't. You took the timeout and then you punt it.
Yeah, that was tough, right?
Maybe
there.
he stepped in that moment and said, let's punt it. And it was a good decision because our defense held.
Yep.
But I mean, my goodness, man, the clock management is starting to be a problem. And like I said, I think that we have the right head coach at the University of Colorado. But at some point, this has got to be his specialty.
Yeah.
Okay. All the great coaches manage the clock, manage timeouts. That, even though I don't believe he micromanages offense, micromanages defense, or micromanages special teams, he has to micromanage the timeout situation. He's just got to. That's just a part of being a head coach.
Totally agree with you. The Buffs fall to 2-3 on the road this upcoming weekend against TCU. It all started against TCU. First game ever at CU as a head coach.
Do you believe?
Do you believe? It was the Do You Believe game. And if I'm hearing you, well, I'm not going to speak for you. I'm going to let you say it yourself, man. You speak for yourself. Do you believe
that we can beat TCU?
Whatever it is that you believe.
I believe that this is a good football team that has the ability to put up good numbers. I just don't think we got into the game win mentality.
Yeah.
We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? And so I believe it's the play caller and the quarterback at the end of the game. We just don't have that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point, because
we don't have the combination of play caller and quarterback at the end of the game to put it. We should, you know what? I have to pause there because the offensive coordinator called a damn good play on the run with Caden Salter. If the receiver doesn't get called for holding,
we're having a different conversation.
We're having a much different conversation. And
That's
maybe
fair.
we're not talking about the $50,000 fine from the Big 12 to the University of Colorado.
Well, yeah, and I think we'll be talking about that. And we talked about that leading up to the game. It probably had a little to do with the sticky, some of the stuff that goes on.
What quarter was that? Does everybody know what the sticky is? Does everybody know what the sticky is?
I don't know. What's this? It's weed.
Right, the sticky icky.
Right.
That's what Snoop used to say in his song.
Right.
Sticky.
That's a Chad Brown special.
Oh.
that's what Chad Brown,
okay.
about that sticky. Nonetheless, tough loss. Another game that sort of slipped away.
Coach Prime actually said something about it could have been the sticky and the alcohol in his comments.
Yeah, I don't think that there's much doubt about what it was. You know how you act when you.
But I'm just saying, but the fact that he constantly mentions,
I think he's fascinated by
marijuana and alcohol.
I think he's fascinated
because he doesn't drink and he doesn't smoke. You know what I'm saying? He may just find it. Maybe he finds it fascinating, but I would say it's unusual.
Well, here's the deal.
In college athletics.
Here's the deal. He played for the Cowboys. So
in Texas, that's not a go. That's not a go. What alcohol is.
Well, in the Cowboys locker room back then, it was a go. They did all kinds of shit.
Well, the White House, they had the White. Well, I don't know if he was necessarily involved in that.
Of course not. He doesn't. He didn't partake. Yeah. But he knew.
Right. But I'm just saying. But when it's thrown in your, I think that he talks about it so much. He may get a certain type of player that may, enjoy the sticky to come to the University of Colorado because it's just part of. And then last year during the bowl season, he talked about if he goes to any floor and he smells any marijuana, that they're done. They're done with the University of Colorado. They're off to play someplace else. Meaning that maybe there were some players on the team last year that enjoyed the sticky.
Well, I'm sure there were. It's almost an expected feature in this world we live in today. It's just prevalent. I mean, hell, you walk out of this studio, bro.
Oh my,
You're a block away from a dispensary.
Oh yeah, is that what that is? I thought it's just somebody always smoking. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm like, man, you pull up. I'm like, damn, it's loud. It's loud.
Oh, no doubt.
Is this Burnham, by the way? Where the new Broncos going?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, right out, kind of down the street.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. I mean, every time I'm like, oh man, they're gonna be right in it.
That's right. They're gonna be right in. Well, they're gonna clean up what they want to clean up, bro. It's just that's priority.
Well, I mean, this is Colorado. This is the state that started it all in the Union.
Right here in the good old Colorado, bro. Hey, speaking of Burnham,
that was a terrible transition.
Where am I going?
I don't know. Let's hear.
See, how do you know it's terrible? See, that's what I'm saying, man. I told you I'm smarter than you, bro. Take that sip and
you're just less dumb.
Hey, man, look, Broncos, they flipped the script. Now, a couple of things, man. You know what? I want you to take this one, man. I want you to, do you believe, speaking of do you believe, has your mind changed? Has your outlook changed about this team, given that dominant 28-3 victory now, here's the caveat. I honestly think Cincinnati right now is the worst football team in the National Football League.
I almost feel like Cincinnati knows that this year is a wash, and it would behoove them to get the highest draft pick at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about, there was an overriding theme in the game on Monday night from the Cincinnati Bengals with the star wide receivers, the star players on the team. Like, this shit is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what week is it? Week 4? We're in week 4, and they were like, this shit is over. And I was like, wow. Like, watching it, I know what quit looks like.
Right.
And I know when you don't have it, I know what that looks like as well. And it's clear that the Cincinnati Bengals don't have it, and I can see them starting to shut it down. Now, I'm not telling you collectively as a team, but when you accept that you're going to lose, or you accept that it's not going to go well, to me, it feels like we know we're going to lose. So, let's try not to get hurt.
Yeah.
Let's try not to get hurt and get through this year, because everybody got their money now. See, that's what it feels like to me. That's like, true. Hey, it's not that big, anymore. I'm good. Everybody good now. Let's wait till Joe get back. And it feels like that's where they are as a franchise, and may cost the head coach's job.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. I think it does cost the head coach's job. But, while that's, I think, the narrative for Cincinnati, I think this game was exactly what the Denver Broncos needed. Not that there was much resistance, but in terms of beginning to sort of find themselves and establish a personality, they just had it going. Bo Nix had it going. 29 of 42.
What's their personality?
326 yards. Here's the personality. You look at this running game, and you look what both J.K. Dobbins and Harvey did.
Listen, you got to listen to the head coach. He'll tell you everything if you listen to the head coach. Okay, and what he said is great. I think that's his first 100-yard rusher in 38 games as a Denver Bronco head coach.
Just got over the century, 101.
Okay, and you got to listen to how he said the 100 yards was achieved. We got out to a lead, and then we were able to run the football. Do you see what I'm saying?
As opposed to we established the run, and as a result, now you're right.
Okay,
you got right about
I didn't say that.
I
didn't say it. He said it. Okay, it's great that we got out to a lead, then we can establish the run.
J.K. Dobbins had something to say about how he sort of interprets why they had success in this game running the football. Let's take a listen.
I'm one of those guys where if I get in a rhythm, like if I get consecutive carries, I think I get better. As the game goes on, I get better. And I'm sure that's probably every running back. They would probably tell you that. And so tonight, like in the second half, that's what you saw. And I think Coach Payton is starting to figure me out and RJ out. And the offensive line out and just the whole offense. You know, he's figuring it out, and he's doing a great job of putting us in the right position. And so the series, getting consecutive touches, you see what happens. You said 38 games. We haven't had a 100-yard rusher, and that happened tonight because Coach Payton put us in that position.
Hey, man.
JK got to call Braun, man. JK got to call Braun on the hair, dog. JK, man, I can't wait to see JK at the alumni deals after he finished playing for the Broncos.
Hey, man.
I don't know if I'm going to run into him any other place, but he got to call Braun with the hair. You know what I'm saying? You know Braun got a wig. You know LeBron wearing a wig.
Is he wearing a wig?
Oh, my goodness. That dude went from no hair to an afro.
Well, they got stuff, man. They got
it's called glue.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, listen.
Hey, dog.
You still got you can walk up in that locker room at any time.
Ooh,
You got status.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
But Black, you got status and standing.
I mean, he just got to let it go, man. Sometime when it's going, you got to let it go, man.
But what would he do?
I'm talking about the hair, dog.
But what could he do? You said just go all ball?
Yeah, just go ahead and let it go, man. It's just I don't know, dog.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey, he holding on. He's holding on, dog. I got
on for dear life, dog. Holding on for dear life with the rest of that hair.
Hey, never
I like
mind
him though, man. I do
I'm liking him more and more.
I've liked this guy since he was playing for the Baltimore Ravens.
Even
and of course when he
Ohio
played
State.
out, when he played out there with San Diego, he looked fantastic.
He's a good football player.
Oh, he's a really good football,
back.
and I think he's smart as hell. And but I think that how they get to the run game is they have to be winning. And it has to be comfortable, and then you sprinkle in more runs than passes.
That's a very good point. And it sounded as if J.K. Dobbins was really sending, while he was complimenting his coach, he was almost, trying to convince his coach that we could do this. You're figuring us out.
Right.
And give us a little bit more. We could actually be the foundation of this team, a good, solid running game, which, in most football minds, if you can run the ball consistently, then everything comes off of it.
Well, what also happened in this game in particular is that the guys weren't rotating in packages.
That's right.
The running backs stayed in and played the entire series. You know what I'm saying? And when you play the entire series, then you can get in a rhythm, as you just heard. But, unfortunately, if you go 3 and out, then the next time the offense goes back out there, then you're not the running back.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important that you establish, hey, look, you get so many plays before you're out of the game, because every now and then, let's just say I play defense, okay, and I play defensive end. Hey, we're going to go every other series, okay? I tip a ball in the air and we get an interception. That series is over. Does that mean now my guy that I'm rotating with goes in the series? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's like a play count. Like, hey, you get the first 7 or 8, and then you get the next 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the right way to look at it.
I think J.K. Dobbins is your starting running back. He should probably get 2/3 of the carries.
There you go, bro.
And
that's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Now, it's another name I have to bring up, because I think on one of these, I don't know what you said to piss him off, but Courtland Sutton is playing. I think you said he's a great 2.
He is a 2.
He's looking like a solid 1 right now.
I mean,
this guy is playing some damn good football.
Just to look at the other side, I just got to ask you, who would you take, T. Higgins or Courtland Sutton?
That's a good question, bro.
And T. Higgins is a number 2.
I think both of them are high level 2s. Two of the best 2s.
So you agree that he is a 2?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no doubt.
Okay,
no doubt.
Right. Because there's another guy because I didn't even ask you about Jamar Chase.
Listen, he's a
once in a lifetime kind of receiver for an organization.
He's a generational receiver.
That's right.
Now
he's going to be on the Bengals all-time wide receiver list, and that's a pretty damn good list.
Along with who? Isaac Curtis? You don't even remember Isaac Curtis.
Of course I do. I played for the Bengals. Chris
That's
Collinsworth.
That's true.
You got Ocho Cinco.
That's right.
TJ Husmanzada. Downtown Eddie Brown, Tim McGee.
Look, man, we don't need you to go through the
Well,
whole
I'm just saying, but I
history
think
of
that he's gonna.
Cincinnati.
If you say,
Jeez.
"Hey, pick two receivers,"
Sorry,
Jamar Chase is gonna be on one side. Now, who you put opposite him? That's a hell of a statement for a franchise. If you say, "Hey, this guy is gonna be like he's gonna be number one, and whoever you put over there is gonna be number two."
Chad Ochocinco.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chad Ochocinco.
That said, though, I do think T. Higgins, when Jamar, because he was out for a while, I think a year ago, T. Higgins flashed as a number one. He's capable of being a number one.
Absolutely.
And I think we're saying the same
That's
thing.
Riley
with
Miles.
Courtland
I mean, like
Sutton.
Riley Miles got the business last year from
That's
T.
right.
Higgins, but I think this year he showed up and showed out, man. So congratulations for having a fantastic game against a guy who absolutely roasted you last year.
We are 4 in AFC West. How do you rank the teams right now?
Well, considering that all starting quarterbacks are still healthy, okay? This is a big part of it. All 4 starting quarterbacks are still healthy. For the most part, the AFC West in general is healthy, okay, including the Denver Broncos. I would say that the class of this division is the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they were beaten by the Chargers, I go Kansas City Chiefs. I go Chargers. Okay. Denver Broncos, Raiders.
Interesting. So you got Denver 3.
3.
And I will say this: the distance between 1 and 3,
2 and 3.
I would even say 1 and 3.
Not
Kansas
one.
City.
Not one.
Here's what you're doing. Here's what you're doing.
They're in a different class, bro. I mean,
9 straight AFC West championships.
I mean, how many Super Bowls? I mean, listen, you just don't wake up and become the class of your division. You just don't do that after you have a guy and a coach and a team that understands and know how to win. We got to beat this team this year when it counts.
Do you agree, though, that the gap between where the Chiefs are now and where the Broncos are now has decreased?
Absolutely.
And so the distance between 1 and 3 is very little. The gap isn't like it was the last 9 years.
I think the Chiefs are a 10-point team better than us right now.
Wow. I think you're just you're looking at the girl who was back in high school.
Hey,
she was the finest. She was the best looking in the whole school. 15 years later, with all those stretch marks, you're not even recognizing them. Chiefs got stretch marks right now.
Hey, I hear you, man. A lot of beautiful babies.
Not as fine.
A lot of beautiful babies, though. A lot of beautiful babies. You know what? From now on, I'm going to start wearing my Super Bowl ring so you'll understand what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh, my.
Okay? Because I'm telling you.
You didn't just pull that.
Listen, man, it is not easy. It is not easy to win a playoff game. It's hard as hell to win a regular season game.
Where'd that come from?
Because before you can leapfrog the Kansas City Chiefs, you have to win a playoff game with this organization. Last year when we got into the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills, after the Kansas City Chiefs laid it down to let us get in, we got embarrassed. Okay? So I'm telling you that we are getting better. I think next year, in Bo's 3rd year, we have a chance to really challenge and compete.
I don't know what argument you're having or who you're having it with. I don't disagree with your ranking of the AFC West.
Okay.
My point is the difference between 1 and 3 isn't as wide as it has been in the past.
Who wins the AFC West?
I think it's wide open right now.
Who wins the AFC West this year?
Kansas City is a very flawed team.
Hey, listen. I just asked you a simple question. Who wins the AFC West this year?
I'll tell you in 3 weeks.
No. We're after 4 games, and the Chiefs are 2-2. The Broncos are 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders are 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chargers are 3-1.
Yep.
Who wins the AFC West?
If the Chargers get those tackles back.
Listen, man.
Let me answer the damn question, bro. If the Chargers are, if all 3 teams are at full blast, if all 4 teams are at full go, the Chargers win the AFC West.
Who wins that game last night if Joe Burrow plays?
I think the Broncos win that game. I don't think Joe.
See, but it goes to show you how injuries can really change.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything. That's why I say all the teams right now are relatively healthy. Now, Rashawn Slater,
well, no,
the outstanding left tackle for the Chargers is out.
That's right.
I don't think he's going to be back. I don't believe he's going to be back this year.
Well, listen, they couldn't block me in their last game. I mean, they were under big time duress. And if they can't do if their strength becomes their weakness, they're in trouble. But that's true for any team.
They played the entire year without Rashawn Slater.
And how they do?
3-1, CJ. What do you want me to say?
But they have both of their starting offensive tackles out.
No, yeah. I mean, but Slater was out at the beginning of. I mean, after he signed his multi-million, $100 million deal, he was injured within a week.
All things equal, all teams full go. I think the Chargers leapfrog the Chiefs. The Chiefs could very well be at full. If all teams are at full strength, the Chiefs could very well be number 3 in this. I think we've just reached the point where they've maxed out. So much of what you're giving them is on reputation.
Man,
you're giving them a lot on reputation. I think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but his weapons on the perimeter are not.
How many more games do the Chiefs lose this year? They've had a murderer's row for football games to start the season. How many more games they've lost? They've lost 2 games, right? No, 3. They've lost 3.
Yeah, they lost
3 games. Yeah. They lost to the Chiefs. I mean, they lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Eagles.
Are they
2-2? They're 2-2. 2-2. So they're 2-2. How many more games do they lose?
They lose 7 games. They go 10-7 this year.
How much you want to put on that? I put anything you want on that they don't lose 7 games this year.
Stand on business, bro. What do you want to put on?
You call it, man. Let's call it $1,000. Let's put $1,000 on.
Okay. They'll go 10-7. No, hold on. What are you saying they're going? What are you saying?
I'm saying they're gonna not lose.
No, give me a number.
No, I'm not. I don't have to. As long as they beat 10-7, I'm good.
Give me a number.
If they go 11-6, then
so that's your number. You saying
no?
11
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying they're not gonna lose 7 games this year.
Look, man, the Chargers aren't. I mean, the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs of the last 4 or 5 years.
We'll see when the playoffs start. When we start getting to the end of the season and the playoffs start to show themselves.
And I can't believe you on that jock like that,
man. Listen, man, great players, and I'm
great
telling
players
you,
aren't great all the
Patrick
time.
Mahomes
forever
is a great player.
Absolutely, he's still great.
You gauge your team by the greatest player that you have. Patrick Mahomes is arguably the greatest quarterback to have ever played in the NFL behind Tom Brady. Okay. I'm just being as honest as I can about this.
Okay. Well, it's not honesty, it's just what you believe. It ain't honesty.
I think a lot of people believe it. Okay. Unfortunately, we had a guy like that in John Elway here in Denver for the Kansas City Chiefs faithful.
Okay.
So then we got Peyton Manning, and then the rest of the AFC West was like, damn, again. No. Al, that's revisionist history, man. Well, I'm just telling you,
as
when
great
you
as
have,
7 was,
listen, man,
you didn't win a Super Bowl until 30 became the best running back in the league.
He didn't win a Super Bowl till I got here.
That's what I meant.
That's what I meant. Spade to spade. Let's do it,
bro. That's what I meant.
Until the defense and the offense and the special teams coordinated. So it's a total team environment. Spagnuolo, as a defensive coordinator out there in Kansas City, is a hell of a schemer. Andy Reid is a hell of a schemer. And their special teams coach, which his name escapes me.
Nobody cares.
But he is a great special teams coach.
Okay.
They have players, and they're starting to get more players back from suspension and other crap that happened early in the year. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are poised to be one of the best teams in the AFC. They've already played the Ravens.
The Chiefs.
They've already played the Chargers once. They've already played they played the Chargers and lost, played the Eagles and lost. Those are the monster games on their schedule.
Listen, man.
Are the Broncos a monster game for the Chiefs?
Absolutely. And I don't want to belabor this, but the Chiefs have gone from great to good.
Oh.
And we'll see whether or not good is good enough.
I was always told you got to beat the champ to beat the champ.
I hear you. Who beat you? You guys won 2 Super Bowls.
That's right.
In a row.
That's right.
Okay. Who won the conference the next year?
I don't know.
In fact, after your first Super Bowl, who won the conference?
But once again, hold on. You make my point for me. We also lost one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game, and we suffered the most injuries to starting players in the entire NFL the next year.
Your second Super Bowl, didn't you guys go in as a wild card?
No.
Did you guys win the division?
Yeah, absolutely. We were 14-2.
Both years?
No, the first year we were wild card.
Okay, all right. So
we had to go on the road. The show must go on the road.
Oh, that was, and the year before that, no, the year before that was Jacksonville year. That was the Jacksonville year when they came in.
What the fuck was that? Why'd you bring up Jacksonville?
Because, hey, man, we're just trying to get the record straight, bro. Why you get so...
I'm just saying, well, why?
Man, keep your panties straight, man. Damn. I'm just saying, bro, that's what happened,
The next year we beat Jacksonville.
Okay, the year before they beat you, Mark Brunell, he might get a gold jacket on your ass.
Look, dog. Look, man.
Hey, man, why you get so...
I'm just saying, like, we weren't even talking about Jacksonville. We weren't even talking about Jacksonville.
That was 30 years ago.
We weren't talking about Jacksonville, and you brought up Jacksonville. What's up with Jacksonville?
Hey, man, did you take your... I got to call Christina. Did you take your meds?
Man, I'm just saying we don't have to bring that up. We don't have to bring that up. That was hard for everybody who was a Denver Broncos fan.
I didn't know we were limited in what we could talk about.
I'm just telling you, man, we don't have to bring up those memories.
All right, I tell you what, man, we're gonna get off.
We don't have memories of the Detroit Lions playing in the Super Bowl.
What's your point?
That was my point.
What's your point?
That was my point.
You know what? The next
Let's
topic,
move on.
we're gonna move on to civility in sports. I think the timing is perfect here because you acting like a little biatch right now, man. I just got it.
No, I'm just saying you didn't have to bring up that Jacksonville.
You didn't have to bring up Jacksonville. Damn, bro. You lost the game, bro. It was embarrassing.
It was more than a loss, CJ.
It was
more than a loss. Okay,
you hurt? You still hurt? You hadn't recovered from that?
I don't think I have. I think it's a life-altering deal, dog. I mean, you lose a game like that, man. You lose a game like that, it changes you as an athlete. It changes you as an organization. It changes you as a fan and as a fan base.
I don't know if I can do this.
Listen, man, Scott Norwood missing that field goal against the New York Giants in that Super Bowl changed the entire Buffalo Bills organization.
What was more traumatic to you? Getting evicted from that apartment up in Boulder your junior year?
Definitely losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Definitely.
Hey, man, civility in sports, bro. I don't know what's going on, man, in the world. Actually, I do have an idea of what's going on in the world today. It just seems like in our society,
I can't believe you brought up Jacksonville, dog. I can't believe you brought it. I mean, that was almost like
it's gonna be all right, man.
I'm just saying,
like, I mean, bro. I'm gonna hold your hand. Here, hold my hand.
No, I ain't gonna hold you.
Hold my hand, man. I'm gonna make sure we
pour
get
me
this.
A drink is what I'm gonna do. I can't believe you, bro.
I can't believe what's happening in our society today, right? And every week, coming off of a sports weekend, it offers up more and more evidence of how there's just a loss of respect and civility in sports. This past weekend up in Boulder, right? The chants that were, in fact, Coach Prime had some comments about this post game.
Let me mention this, and Rick might not want me to mention. I know it was an incident at the conclusion of the game or whatsoever. On behalf of CU, on behalf of our athletic department, we would like to apologize to our opponents from a week ago for whatever derogatory statements were made by our fans. That's not indicative of who we are. Our student body, our kids are phenomenal. So don't indict us just based on a group of young kids that probably was intoxicated and high simultaneously. Maybe I shouldn't have said that as well. But the truth will make you free. But BYU, we love you, we appreciate you, and we support you. God bless.
Now, for those who don't know, there was a chant towards the end of the game.
Unruly.
It was unruly. F the Mormons, I think. F the Mormons was the chant that was coming from the CU student section. CU was fined $50,000 as a result of it, which I think, quite frankly, is appropriate. You have to exert some kind of institutional control when you host the games, when you host events. Now, certainly Coach Prime, Rick George, Chancellor Schwartz, President Solomon, they you can't control that in the moment, but you have to reiterate to your attendees that's just not tolerated. And I think the NCAA appropriately fined our alma mater for what took place. Before we go there, before we go beyond that, your thoughts on that situation?
I think that I think sometimes when you don't have class, you have to be taught class, and it's classless what happened at CU in that moment. And I love the university, always have, always will. But in that situation, it cannot be tolerated. It's just not, this is supposed to be a breeding ground for the future leaders of our country. And the degradation of another fan base and a religion is not appropriate.
Yeah.
If you would have said, the Cougars, that would have been something totally different.
Oh, you're talking about the BYU Cougars.
The BYU Cougars.
Like Cougars.
No, I'm not talking about your Cougars or your type of Cougars. I'm talking about the Cougars of BYU. But since you use the religious card, I think it's just it should be frowned upon. Yeah,
no doubt about it. And when you say future leaders of this country, I'm afraid that much of the behavior that is demonstrated by a lot of our leaders is a lot of our youngsters are just simply mimicking. I think, again, the lack of civility. Well, I think it's true. The lack of civility in our society there's a cascading impact that we see showing up at sporting events. The Ryder Cup this weekend, right?
Well, I mean, was nasty.
Was that? I mean, I'd never seen anything like it. Like, you and I are golfers, one better than the other, but you and I are golfers, and we know the protocol, sort of the nature of golf,
right? And gentleman's game.
And see, I'm gonna tell you, the Waste Management, the Phoenix Open,
right,
sponsored by Waste Management,
right,
where it totally flips the etiquette of golf on its head,
right?
And it's become part of that. I think
that's a whole different vibe, though. It's like saying, you going to dinner at the carnival and you're going dinner at the steakhouse.
Well, I mean, but you created the carnival. Like, there was no carnival before you said, okay, it's okay to have a carnival.
I know, but you know the difference between going and having having dinners with fat girls and funnel cakes. You know the difference. You know what I'm saying? And going and having a sit down at a steakhouse.
Fat girls and funnel cakes. What do you mean?
I don't know a fat girl who doesn't love a funnel cake.
Hey, man, look, man, back to the point is what took place at Bethpage. I think, again, just like what took place in Boulder, is a reflection of our larger society. And for those who are not up to date or didn't see what took place, here's a little bit of what happened this past weekend at the Ryder Cup.
That bunker's looking tasty. Guys, shut the fuck up.
And it's interesting because it was forecasted that this might happen. The great Tom Watson. I'm going to just follow it up with what Tom Watson said. The great Tom Watson, it kind of alluded or let the cat out the bag that there was some expectation that things could get out of control. And just that in and of itself will tell you that this wasn't much of a surprise. Let's hear what Tom Watson has.
I certainly agree with Tom Watson there. We had talked about it almost from the minute the final putt was hit in Rome, about how potentially New York was going to be embarrassing. And for all the time we talked about it, I don't think we could imagine it being this embarrassing. If you look at a place that will not tolerate boorish behavior, they message properly at the outset. And I'm talking about Augusta National, the Masters. People know when they walk onto the grounds there that they're expected to react and act responsibly and respectfully and within the traditions of the game. And I think Rory really did hit the right tone last night in the media center, saying golf needs to hold itself to a different standard.
No, that, by the way,
Brandon
Chambly,
Chambly.
exactly. Speaking on Tom Watson's comments, but this is getting, and you can read what Tom Watson said here in this tweet, but this is getting out of control. And again, it's never mind the sport. We see it in international soccer, some of the most racist things that you could possibly imagine happening and being said, chanted in stadiums. What do we do with this? How do you police this? How do we can we put the genie back in the bottle?
I think that once again, as our society changes, I do believe that it's up to the parents, really. It's up to the parents and the gatekeepers of the sport to reinforce who we are, what we're about, and what we intend to do. And I know this from having played in some very tense games and the very tense moments and having my own children in the stands. And my wife at the time having to have a talk with members of the opposition that were around, the family. Like it's never okay. You got to understand your surrounding and your environment. You got to understand, okay, where you are when the nonsense is happening, okay, and you have to be able to correct it, and the community at large has to be able to correct bad behavior. And I don't want to see, it seems like we sensationalize things like fights at games. You know what I'm saying? Right. At sporting events, or rude behavior at sporting events. And is it a greater reflection of society? Maybe, but it could be that there are more cameras available, and maybe this shit has been going on for a lot longer than we know, but now it's being recorded. But I can tell you this, it's not okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't go to a golfing event to hear the kind of language that was used out there, and you don't go to necessarily an ice skating event and looking to hear the same kind of language.
Yeah,
there's decorum, and I think that if you understand where you are, you have a better chance. You have a better chance to assimilate with the crowd that's there. And also, CJ, I do believe that it is up to the event and its messaging to make sure that everybody knows that this is who we are and this is what we're about. I played with Sam Weish in Cincinnati, and he had one of the greatest quotes in the middle of a game as the Cincinnati fans were throwing things onto the field, and he stopped and said, "Stop it. You don't live in Cleveland." You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, damn, he's, it's just, you got to understand who you are or who you want to be before you can reach that level of class that you're looking for.
I'm not certain that was the best messaging if you wanted to tamp down bad behavior, because guess what happens when they go to Cleveland, when they go to the dog pound?
Yeah, man. Listen, I played in all of that, man. Man, I'm like, who brings a fucking battery to a game and hurls it onto a player? Why would you do that?
It's horrible.
You know what I'm saying?
I got one better for you though. WNBA game. Speaking of bringing things to a game and hurling them at players, again, this behavior is becoming. My fear is that it becomes so regular that that we normalize it and almost expect it. We have to get our arms around this. Look at what happened at a WNBA game a few months ago.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor. Got an object that just flew in as the free throw was being made. And it looked like that hit a...
What was it?
Do you know what that was?
I have no idea what that was.
It was a sexual object. Commonly referred to as a dildo that was hurled onto the floor.
Did somebody pick it up?
Well, the player kicked it. You could see her kick it off the floor.
You mind run that again? I don't think I've ever seen this clip again. I've never seen this clip.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor.
Oh.
Got an object that just flew in as the free throw was being made.
Yeah,
talk about getting kicked in the balls, but that was
see, in that situation, the fan base know who threw
that's exactly right.
The fan base knows who threw that.
And if they didn't find it, first of all, how do you get that into the arena? But even before you even think of getting
shove it down your pants. Now that was dumb.
See, man. Can I get you to be serious? Can I get you to be serious for a second? Okay. All right, man. We gotta pull back.
How did they get a fake one into the stadium?
Oh man.
I can't do this. Where would they put it, CJ?
Hey man, I'm trying. I swear. Hey, listen, I'm trying everything I got, y'all. Listen,
you know
man.
exactly where they gonna put it.
Hey, look, man.
All right.
Look, man. It's wrong.
How do they check for that?
Yeah, because there's no metal in it. So the metal detector. Look, man.
All right.
But listen.
All right.
Listen.
Hey, man. Hold on, man. Hold on, bro. Hold on, man. You gotta give me a minute here, man. That was the dumbest. Ooh.
Oh my goodness, man. That cannot be tolerated. That cannot be
all right
tolerated, man. You know, I
okay. Ooh.
Oh,
all right. What were you saying now?
I don't know. I don't know. You just can't do that, man. But I do think it is.
I'd like to see them check for that one.
You know, whoever he was walked in proud, right? He had the tightest Levi's he could find.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
No, you can't do that, man. I mean, that has to be zero tolerance for it.
All right.
And you know, like you said, in that case, the WNBA, the PGA, or the organizers of the
high
Ryder
school
Cup,
football, high school basketball,
you name it, man.
You know, like I said, you know, volleyball games, you know, ice skating, you know, softball games. I mean, when where does it end?
Yeah.
You know, so if you allow it to be normal and you don't step up and you don't call out the guy who's responsible for doing the malicious act, then you almost allowed it to be okay.
Yeah.
So I think you have to point that person out. That person should be
made an example.
Well, it should be banned from all future events that involve that type of environment, whatever sport you were talking about.
No doubt about it. The bottom line is there has to be control, because increasingly we see hostility in our society, and it doesn't just stop there. This thing it's escalatory. It continues to, you know, for however egregious we might think that is, something else is around the corner that is
right.
It's going to top that. And if we don't get control of it, man, it's going to be.
You should point it out every time and say it's not okay. Tell the officials that are part of the event, this is who did it. Point them out and make sure that person's not made comfortable. You can't make that person comfortable.
Yeah. Well, you know, we'll move on from that. Ooh, that was tough. We'll move on from that one.
But first of all, the Ryder Cup and Rory saying that you have to hold people, or golf should be held to a higher standard. It's almost a shot at not just what happened at Bethpage Black, but it's almost a shot at what's happening on the Live Tour, because that is a straight up party. I don't know if you've ever been to a Live event. It's like going to like the Phoenix Open every event.
Wow.
There's music. There's it's a much more livelier, fan-friendly event. And I think Rory is also taking a shot at the Live Tour as well.
Interesting. Well, the situation in Cleveland with the Browns continue to unfold. Only interesting to us because of Shedeur Sanders, 5th round draft pick, 144 to be exact. This season has been pretty close to being a disaster for Cincinnati, or for the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco, the old man experience, has not panned out. They've benched him. Dylan Gabriel, the 3rd round pick out of Oregon this past season, is now the starting quarterback. When I heard that news, I assumed and felt good about, well, the prospects of Shedeur Sanders being, bad play away. I don't want to say one play away because I don't want to wish anything bad on Dylan Gabriel, but perhaps ineffective play away from getting his opportunity. But as it turns out, Dylan's number 1, Flacco's number 2, and Shedeur Sanders remains number 3 on that depth chart. Again, I've always felt like this was messaging. The league decided that it was going to send a message to not just Shedeur Sanders, but his dad, Coach Prime. And that's why he was drafted in the 5th round. Certainly his play was not 5th round worthy. But even now, it's as if like Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback of the future. You have 2 rookies. Given where this team is not going, they're not a good team. They're not going anywhere right now. Why is this not sort of the proving ground to determine whether or not you could potentially have your quarterback of the future? Why is he still 3rd on that depth chart?
Because Cleveland doesn't understand quarterback play.
That's been true throughout the history of their franchise.
I mean, they had the number 1 overall pick in Baker Mayfield, who is trending to be an all-pro. The guy is
right.
A warrior.
That's not an overstatement either.
No, and I had my doubts about a 6-foot tall quarterback making it in the NFL. But
you don't think I could have made it in the NFL?
No, I don't think so. But
what a jerk! Man.
Did you
that was
just
a jerk
fart?
move. Did I what?
What
no,
was
man.
That? Was that the card?
Yeah, it was the card.
Oh,
dude,
listen.
Bad. You just talked about class. I got class.
Well, I'm just saying, dog. I mean, I
what
had my mouth open. I was talking, and I was just making sure.
Keep talking, man.
Okay. This is what I know about the Cleveland Browns. They don't understand good quarterback play because you drafted a guy, and all because there was some issue with management and they didn't like the way that he was moving, doing the commercials and doing all the things that he was doing when he was there. You dismissed him, traded him, and you look like a dumbass organization now because he's now in Tampa Bay operating as if he was the next coming of Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And I think that the undertone of what's happening in Cleveland is loud. You've had loud mouths like Rex Ryan almost insinuate that Shedeur Sanders does not understand and know the playbook from his comments.
Why would he say? I mean,
because he's.
Why would he say that? I don't even.
You know what, man? I'm gonna hold my tongue on that. But I think it's BS. Okay. First of all, you don't know good quarterback play either.
Right.
If you're Rex Ryan, you don't know good quarterback play. So anyway, I just think that when you are looking at what's happening in Cleveland, it's a mismanagement of the room. It's a mismanagement of the opportunity. And I really don't believe that Stefanski wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders. I think that was an organizational move. And when you have an organizational move that is not instituted by the coaching staff, sometimes it's forced on you. And the way that you push back is that you don't allow that player to grow and have any wings to fly. And I think that's what's happened now.
Well, that's a punk move too. If
in fact
move. That's true.
I've seen it though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Man, I've seen this shit all throughout my NFL career. First of all, guys get drafted in places that they shouldn't have been drafted in. It's not their fault that they got drafted, but forced into situations where they had to play and couldn't play. Or
you talking about Mike Crow?
No. I'm talking about teammates of mine in different camps I've been in, and I'm saying that it's unfortunate that the players get drafted higher than maybe a guy who was drafted later, because it's almost like you're force feeding the guy. If a guy's a first round draft pick, you're force feeding that guy to become the man. If the third rounder that plays the exact same position is better, then the third rounder is seen as, or let's say you draft a guy in the first round and you got a guy in the sixth round, and the sixth round player is better. I've seen in situations in other cities that I played in, primarily in Cincinnati, where you play the guy that is the highest draft pick over the guy that's the lowest draft pick. But the players know the truth. The players always know the truth. And if the players know the truth, you should do what Mike Shanahan did every single time. You play the best player, period.
Yeah.
You don't care where they were drafted. You don't care if they were drafted at all. You don't care if they came in free agency. You don't care how they got there. The idea is we want the best team. Therefore, we have to play the best players. And the players know who the best player is.
That's right. And I think that's a reflection. You mentioned Mike Shanahan. That's a reflection on the strength and the wisdom of the head coach. The head coach has to have enough fortitude to say to scouts, the general manager, the ownership, listen, as long as I'm running this ship, I'm playing the best players, despite what you or anyone else might think.
That's it.
And I don't think that's the case in Cleveland. I think you're right. The strings are being pulled by those who are not in the locker room. And I think that is most unfortunate. And what's beginning to happen is Cleveland is becoming a bit of a clown show. Let's see how Shedeur Sanders actually reacted to the news.
Quarterback. Vocally, anything to say?
I guess one more. What do you think you have to show to the coaches, just to have them have that belief in you that you can be ready.
What can you say?
How much has Joe been important to both you and Dylan in terms of your guys' development to this point?
Man, y'all might as well.
No, your computer or your smartphone wasn't muted. He was actually pantomiming the answers, probably so that he wouldn't say something that might get him in trouble. But the point is, it's becoming unserious. It feels like it's becoming unserious, and because the world is watching this saga sort of play out, and it makes sense to no one.
It feels like Shedeur Sanders is asking to get out of Cleveland. That's what it feels like. We've heard the old adage, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. I almost feel like that's what he's doing in this situation, not saying nothing at all. But at the same time, it brings a different kind of level of scrutiny when you disrespect the opportunity to address the fan base and to the members of the football community who are pulling for you when you pull shit like that.
Well, I
don't think you should have did that, because once again, you want to be higher than you need to get to a level higher than maybe where the average people are when you are trying to achieve. You got to keep your head down, you got to keep working, and you got to say the right thing so that you can at least get the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
when you do that, then you don't get the benefit of the doubt. They say, look at him, he's a clown.
No, I don't think.
What happened just now? Do you think that wasn't a foolish move by him?
I'm going to call you out.
Go ahead.
Because I remember your behavior as a rookie in Cincinnati. Similar environment.
And I wanted the hell out of that.
And you wanted the hell out.
And you know what? I had to grow, CJ. I'm not telling you that.
That's exactly right.
That's what I'm saying. But he's got to grow. He's got to grow. But I'm just saying, some of the things that have been said about him were, I just think they were crap. I just think they were BS.
Not just what's said about him. I mean, the
I'm
guy,
just saying,
he
like,
can't
members
compete.
of the
He's
public. I
competitive.
mean, you got Rex Ryan talking about this kid on a nationally syndicated show that gives a perspective that this kid's not studying, he's not smart enough to be an NFL quarterback.
Which is horrible.
Which is terrible, man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think on one hand, I
so he
understand
just
what you're
added
saying.
to it. I mean, this was last week, and now this week, this is happening. Dylan Gabriel's been named the starting quarterback. Joe Flacco's been named the backup. Shedeur, you still the third quarterback. Okay, man. Hey, you know what you have to do in that situation? Nothing except go to work.
The 50s.
Go to work and don't make a scene.
How old are you, 59? How old are you now?
I am 56.
That's the advice the 56-year-old Alfred Williams would have given the 22-year-old Alfred Williams when you're in that Cincinnati Bengals locker room. So you're absolutely right about that.
I didn't handle a lot of the situations when I was young, because when you lose and you get your ass kicked in this business, when you get your ass kicked in the NFL, there's nothing like it.
Well, then you understand. You understand firsthand.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like losing when you are, when you feel like you could do more to help.
That's right.
And you don't get the opportunity to do more to help.
That's exactly
and right. You've been given a bad situation. There's no easy outs because you are drafted. It's not like you picked the Cleveland Browns. You know, it's the Cleveland Browns picked you. That's what happens in our NFL draft system.
And you have no say.
You have no say. And you know what? If you become a good player, they own your rights until you are right around 28, 29 years old, most of your career. So it's not a good situation.
You ever been to an WNBA game?
I know.
Okay. Just make sure the first time you go, you check
you
check your luggage.
Excuse me.
Hey man, that does it for us. Thanks for tuning in to Big Al and CJ podcast, man. You can check us out on all your social media platforms, Guerrilla Sports, YouTube, Instagram, you name it, we're there. We'll see you next week.